5, 4, 3, 2, 1, we're on. Hi, Art Fein, Art Fein's Poker Party, coming to you from Hollywood with a real special guest today, first time in, Mr. Justin Curtis. Take it away, Justin.
Okay, well, I thought I'd start with a song about my ex-wife, which, you know, a lawyer might say don't say that and say that has nothing to do with anybody. But the divorce papers are all signed, and that was years ago, and this is a true story. Well, I got home and found your notes, and it was hard to believe. Said I was a wonderful husband, but you couldn't live with me. You had your cards read and you checked them out with your astrological chart. It was clearly time to leave, and you hated to break my heart. Well, first I was confused, but now it all makes sense. You wanted to expand your mind and build experience. Well, I met the guy you left me for, and I can see why your love is true. Well, he's been places and done things that I guess I'll never do. No, I've never been to prison. I don't have a jail tattoo. I've always been an honest man. I'm not the guy for you. Oh, I don't hit girls, I don't kick dogs, never set my cat on fire. I don't cheat, steal, or lie, or capture your desire. No, I don't care much for honky-tonks, and I never drink till dawn. And I've never shot anyone, there's no scars on my arm. But your new boyfriend does all these things, and by the law he's always haunted. So watch your TV set, 'cause there he'll be on America's Most Wanted. No, I've never been to prison, I don't have a jail tattoo. I've always been an honest man, I'm not the guy for you. Well, I don't hit girls, I don't kick dogs, never set my cat on fire. I don't cheat, steal, or lie, or capture your desire. I don't cheat, steal, or lie, and I don't capture your desire. And then you'll edit in some applause there, and like we have a real big studio audience. And, all right.
That's one song.
That's one. We want another one. I think I know another one. All right, here's something that, no, I'm not going to do that yet. I'm going to do this. Do an old Johnny Cash song. Johnny Cash being a big influence. Well, I taught the weeping willow how to cry, and I showed the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. But the tears I cry for that woman are gonna flood you, big river. And I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. And it tore me up every time I heard her drawl, southern drawl. Then I heard in my dream, went back downstream to Borden in Davenport. And I followed you, big river, when you called. Then you took me to St. Louis, later on down the river. Afraid her said she's been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I found her trail of Memphis, but she just walked up the block. Raised a few eyebrows and she went on down alone. Now won't you bat it down by Baton Rouge, River Queen, roll it on. Take that woman on down to New Orleans, New Orleans. Go on, I've had enough, dump my blues down in the Gulf. She loves you, big river, more than me. Now I taught the weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. And I showed the clouds how to cover over a clear blue sky. But the tears I cry for that woman are gonna flood you, big river. And I'm gonna sit right here until I die.
Another round of applause. Justin Curtis. Johnny Cash song from Sun Records, I believe.
Yeah.
Do you do the whole Cash repertoire?
I do a lot, yeah. Put on a few Johnny Cash tribute shows.
Oh.
Done that a few times. That's always been fun.
All right, well, it's your first time here on the show. I met you up in Seattle when you were living up there. What was the full name of the band then?
The band then, probably Justin Curtis and, I don't know. What now? The Seattle years. I got to think.
Okay,
it ended with the Justin Curtis show.
All right, the Seattle years. That'll be a volume of your box set.
The lost Seattle years.
The Seattle years. You're a rambling kind of guy. You don't stay put. You're born in Winnipeg. Did you grow up in Canada?
I grew up all across Canada and in parts of the U.S. too. Spent some time down in Florida. And,
usually the explanation for an American kid is Army brat.
yes, Air Force.
Oh, so
Yeah.
okay, same deal.
Yeah.
As I say, I met you up in Seattle like in '98 or so, and you came down here. You came into Los Angeles in 1999, and I know you've been playing around. I had you play on the Elvis show.
Yeah.
And you got a couple records out, or CDs as we call them today, which are available from places that sell records.
Well, there is actually a record out.
Yes,
right out of high school, I put out a 45.
Is that right?
Called "Tell Me Why."
Yeah.
And occasionally they'll show up on an auction somewhere for like $1, but they're out there.
All right, I got a standard first question, which is, what's the first record you bought?
First record I bought was Johnny Cash, One Piece at a Time.
And what about shows? What was the first cool show you saw that made it?
Again, and it was Johnny Cash
Man,
when
wow.
I was 3 years old.
Got a one-track mind. 3
3 years old. My mom took me to see Johnny Cash.
Was your mom in prison?
No.
Because you did a lot of those shows.
He did. But no, she didn't go to prison, not right away anyway. But it was the Johnny Cash show, and I was 3 years old, and I remember all of it. I remember breaking strings, and
Wow.
and my mom's friends and family thought she was crazy, spending $10 or whatever to take a 3-year-old to see Johnny Cash. But I loved it and never forgot it.
So have you met Johnny?
No, I never got the chance to meet him.
So you figure with your obsession, it might have.
Yeah, I just never.
Sooner or later, you will.
It just never quite happened. Yeah.
And now that there is no Palomino here, there's no place to see really
Right.
cool people like you. Well, but in your early years, he might have been playing. He would have never been playing smaller clubs in the past 30 years or so.
Mm-mm. No, I've seen a lot of his shows, but they were always bigger clubs. Yeah.
So I know that unlike most musicians, you have a job. And
Yeah, I hate to admit it,
but you work in a royalties department of a record company of all things.
the worst place is So I'm renting my soul at the moment.
Because you're watching all the money. Well, let's not talk about it too much. But you do know more of the complexities and ins and outs of music publishing and royalties and stuff like that than most guys with a guitar.
Right. So I'm kind of in a position to help a few people if they want to sit and listen long enough.
Mm-hmm.
But I found that most people don't even want to do that. Like, no, you really can make money.
Okay, but I've got a philosophy about this, is that you're supposed to not make any money, that there are the creative people, they create, and then there's the money people who have the same creativity of sucking money out of other people.
Right.
And they do that. Each of you is doing your part, and they're just never the twain shall meet. You don't know any really good businessmen that are musicians, and vice versa. Just forget about it. I mean, just give up.
I actually read your paper on that, but and I completely agree with it. Except the reality is musicians still have to eat, and
Well, that's why they get day jobs like you.
yeah, it's no one seems to give food to the musicians. But, it's funny. I got asked to play a benefit, and the money goes to a food bank. And I'm thinking, well, that's great because a lot of musicians need to go to the food bank because they're playing benefits. But
How many other towns were you living in your rambling years?
well, one of my favorite towns was Nashville. I lived in Nashville for quite a while, and the day job there in Nashville was at the Ernst Tubb Record Shop, which was just fantastic because of the record selection.
Yeah.
One of the great things about that too is they had a lot of imports, which and LPs at the time,
Yeah.
and they weren't sealed because they had to go through customs. So I had my own little personal music library,
Wow.
which it was great. I mean, I got to dig up just tons of stuff. And
What about customers? Were any cool people come in there?
there was a lot of a lot of Nashville crowd came in.
I mean, Johnny Cash did Mel Till or something similar.
Johnny Cash didn't come in. Tommy Cash did.
Yeah.
So I met Tommy Cash and Marty Stewart and Bill Anderson and Connie Smith and just
Pretty cool. Yeah, I've had you play at the Elvis show
just once.
once. That's what I thought. Once this past year.
Yeah.
It was very good. It was very plain and well done.
Oh, thanks.
What song was it? Can you do that? You got it ready?
Yeah, I think I could do that again. Yeah, it was That's All Right, Mama.
Yeah.
Well, that's all right, Mama. That's all right with you. That's all right now, Mama. Just any way you do. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. Well, Papa, he done told me. Mama done told me too. Boy, that girl you're fooling with, she ain't no good for you. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. Oh, I'm leaving town, baby. I'm leaving town for sure. Then you won't be bothered with me hanging around your door. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. But dee-dee-dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee-doo, dee-dee-dee-dee, dee-dee-dee-dee-doo. Well, that's all right. That's all right. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do. That's all right now, Mama. Any way you do.
Just like last time I heard it. Very nice. Although last time you were backed up by a band.
Yeah, in front of people.
In front of people.
People really did applaud. It was great.
People here too. They're not applauding, but they're here. So what about this country thing? So you're on the road. You're on the road as a kid. You're traveling town to town, which then a pattern you continued.
Continued, yeah, and it's and I struggled with that too because a lot of questions like doing interviews. Well, where are you from? Yeah. It's like I hated that question for years because I didn't have an answer. It was like, okay, I was born in Winnipeg, but like I left when I was 3 months old.
Oh,
and then and I was back in Winnipeg a couple different times, but it's like.
But again, I'm not trying to pin you down on this, but the substantial part of your childhood was in Canada?
Yeah, most of my childhood was in Canada, sure.
So then that has been a good thing for you because you've gotten some Canadian play out of your Canadianness.
Oh, yeah.
You're not you're an American citizen, right?
No, I'm actually a Canadian citizen because I was born in Canada and I've got a American residency.
Yeah.
And just a matter of paperwork, which I never bothered with. I can be an American citizen if I want to. If I just stand in line like everybody else, I guess. But it's never been a problem, and it's kind of like having a dual citizenship.
But been in your good stead because you've gotten on the Canadian. Well, you've had videos. I mean,
yeah,
you had videos with your privately issued records.
Right.
So the videos cost upwards of like $100 or.
Well, I don't know. I did 3 videos. I worked with a Canadian director in Calgary, Alberta, and when CMT Canada first got their license.
That would be CMT.
Yeah, Country Music Television Canada. It's a video station. When they got their license, part of the deal was that they would pay for videos. So Robert Cuffley called me up, the director, and said, "They're going to pay for videos if you just sign the money over."
They would pay for the production of videos.
Yeah. So you just sign this and let them pay me, and we'll do the video.
Wow.
And we did 3. And yeah, we got quite a lot of play on, especially on the one Cadillac Girl was the one that did the best.
Now, Cadillac Girl sounds like rockabilly. We're talking about country all this time.
Right. Well, there's the fine line between.
Right, and that's what I wanted to talk about. Now you saw Johnny Cash, but still, if you saw Johnny Cash when you were 3, and let's say it was in the 70s or something around there, you can't just go out and find rockabilly then. You can't just throw a stone like you can now. So it really wasn't around till the mid-'80s in any kind of plenitude.
Right.
Did you make the distinction when you were a kid? Did you know?
Difference between rockabilly and country?
Because there was nobody around to talk to about who Gene Vincent, Eddie Cochran, or people who were from country but went to rock and roll.
Right.
And vice versa.
And no, I don't know when exactly, but it was later when I sort of made the distinction. But I always considered myself a country artist, I've done some rockabilly songs, certainly. But yeah, I've called myself country, just as someone called Johnny Cash country. Sometimes, it falls into the rockabilly circle too. I just, one my mom was a record collector, and she had a lot of the old 50s and 60s country stuff, Johnny Cash, and then stuff like Everly Brothers and Buddy Holly, so into the sort of rock and roll stuff too. So that's sort of where a lot of my musical knowledge came from, was all her old LPs and 45s.
Well, you're saying you never actually fell into a rockabilly crowd in your...
Yeah, I don't know. No, I didn't, no. I mean, almost in high school, but in the high school crowd was kind of mixed with sort of rockabilly and punk. With
my high school wasn't. I mean, I'm older than you, but I'm thrilled to death that there was a rockabilly faction in your high school. That's amazing to me.
I mean, not really, but it was more like some of the people who were in the punk records were also into rockabilly kind of thing. So I wouldn't say there was a separate rockabilly faction.
But actually, you're mentioning something that I found quite a bit of, a punk rockabilly crossover, which was surprising.
Well, I mean, Ramones playing, a lot of the old rockabilly stuff, and the Cramps, and so I think it's pretty natural to have that sort of crossover.
So you're going to play, I do the Elvis show, Elvis's birthday show every year at the House of Blues. And Elvis's birthday is January 8th, but the last couple of years we've been fudging the date because of various problems. Problems is the House of Blues can make more money renting it out to somebody else, so I can't argue with that. If Xerox or somebody wants to give them 50 grand to rent the house for the night, Elvis show doesn't draw that well. So it draws very well, but doesn't draw that well. So this year, for example, it'll be January 6th. And you're going to be there. And do you know what you're going to sing? Because I think That's All Right, Mama's Been Taken.
Oh, okay. Yeah, I had a couple other ideas in mind, but nothing rehearsed, so it's got to remain a secret.
That's what I was leading to.
Yeah, I realized where you're going with that. I'm just going to have to stop you just right there. It's not going to happen.
Well, what else you got? Are those the 3 songs you know, or are there some more?
There might be a couple others. Well, I've been in the studio lately working on a new CD, so here's one that will be released someday. It's called Nothing Lasts Forever. I'm sorry for the dreams that didn't come true. I know you believed, but believe me, I did too. Life don't always go the way that you planned. Please forgive me, I'm just a man left with nothing. Now it's your smile that used to light my life. It's your tongue that cuts just like a knife. You cut through the flesh right down the bone, cut up my heart and left me alone with nothing. They say nothing lasts forever, and I guess they're right. As I sit here alone with nothing night after night. We all know the need for a lover's touch. Simple desire is sometimes just too much. As this love story comes to an end, we'll find ourselves alone again with nothing. They say nothing lasts forever, and I guess they're right. As I sit here alone with nothing night after night. You walk by and I still feel the heat. Fire started long ago burns deep. Pleasure must be worth the pain, 'cause if you ask, I'll do it all again for nothing. They say nothing lasts forever, and I guess they're right. As I sit here alone with nothing night after night. They say nothing lasts forever, and I guess they're right. As I sit here alone with nothing night after night.
Unrecorded, unheard till today by anybody,
That's right? Yeah.
Maybe it's recorded, but it's not fixed yet.
It hasn't been debuted.
Yeah.
It hasn't been offered to the public yet.
Okay. Where are we? Are we 10 minutes away from the end? Does anybody have any idea? I want to talk to you about cowboy shirts for a minute. Now, I was, for my birthday this past year, I went out and said, I haven't had a cowboy shirt in a long time. I'm kind of dropped out of them in the 70s, really, when I used to pick out all those ones up at the thrift stores that were good, So I went out to this Western wear shop in Studio City, biggest one in LA. And I'm looking at these checkered things that look like modern art things, or different things that look like referees with no collar. And
Right.
I said, where's the real cowboy shirts? Where's the regular ones, you know, the with the yokes and stuff like that?
Yeah.
He says, well, here's a few over here. And so I'm looking at them. I said, these things feel like hell. What about the ones I used to buy 30 years ago? Isn't that gabardine? Don't they make that anymore? And he says, oh, you mean the good ones? You mean the ones, you know? Yeah, I said, yeah. He says, yeah, we don't have them. All we got is this junk. I said, great. So I never should have thrown those shirts away because like, I think I've outgrown them. I've actually become broader. But the shirts.
Stays in the gym. Yeah.
But the shirts themselves, the salesman was completely sympathetic to me, saying, you're right. The good ones are gone.
Right.
This is what we have. I said, wow. So what about you? You're traveling around the country. I mean, have you got any old ones? That's not old, I can tell.
No, it's a newer one.
It's a good one, but it's not old.
Yeah, I mean, I do what everybody else does. Just, you know, look through the thrift stores.
Yeah.
And I don't have very good luck with the thrift stores, unfortunately. I'm just a little too
At this point,
lanky
that's right. You got really tall, long arms and stuff.
Yeah, so if I do find a shirt, it's usually just a little bit too small for me.
Yeah.
Which is frustrating.
Well, in a year or two, when you're really making it big, you'll get them custom made.
Exactly.
You'll be
right.
all set. Okay, what other songs you got for me? We got about 7 minutes left.
7 minutes?
Yeah.
All right, let's do kind of
But
a.
I don't want a 7-minute song.
Okay.
All right. I got it a Vita.
All right. I'm gonna do this one. Yeah. You seduce me like no other. It's temptation I can't erase. I lay awake on the darkest nights and long for your embrace. I won't tell her it crossed my mind to turn and run to you. No one could ever understand after all you put me through. You robbed me of my pride, stole my dignity too. You watched my self-esteem erode and my integrity fall through. But every night I'd look for you, I'd always find you there, waiting for me with open arms like a spider in her lair. And you call my name at night, you fill my heart with sin, and I pray for the strength to fight, 'cause I don't want to see you again. And every day is a brand new start, a chance to make things right. But I tremble with fear when the sun goes down, 'cause you call my name at night. Filled my life with dread and haunted all my dreams. I found my hope one day at a time and 12 steps to set me free. It's been 5 long years since my lips have tasted your poisonous kiss. But heaven help me when I'm weak, you're still hard to resist. And you call my name at night, you fill my heart with sin, and I pray for the strength to fight, 'cause I don't want to see you again. And every day is a brand new start, a chance to make things right. But I tremble with fear when the sun goes down, 'cause you call my name at night. You call my name at night, You fill my heart with sin. I pray for the strength to fight, 'cause I don't want to see you again. Every day is a brand new start, a chance to make things right. But I tremble with fear when the sun goes down, 'cause you call my name at night.
Way to go. Justin Curtis, terrific. I want to ask you one more question in line of the shows you've seen. So the best show you saw was Johnny Cash when you were 3, but has anything really struck you that like stands out? Like, see, I saw Jerry Lee in late '57.
Right.
That was something.
Yeah, I guess that would
something.
be. Yeah, yeah.
His hair came down, and man, it was nuts. What I remember of it, which is nothing. But anyways, it was a great time. And I've had a lot of good experiences like that as an audience person. Has anything else struck you?
Well, I mean,
see the Sex Pistols when they came to Nashville? Or something?
No, I got one little sort of odd kind of story. It's an odd choice.
Yeah.
But one sort of inspiring show I saw was George Strait in concert. Now, the reason it was inspiring is because he was doing an outdoor festival somewhere. Actually, it was up in Canada, up in Saskatchewan, and it had been raining for 3 days. And I mean, it's supposed to be a big festival. It's supposed to be like 50,000 people there, but there was like 20 because it had been raining and even snowing at points. But George Strait got on and did his set, and people were just going nuts and into it, and he just kept going. And he did probably like a 2-hour encore as people were yelling and screaming in the rain and snow and mud in the middle of Saskatchewan. And it was just, it was inspiring because it was just like, this is what music's all about. I mean, this is like, you just get so involved in it, you forget your circumstances and your surroundings, and you just enjoy it.
Wow.
And he was, he did all his songs, hours ago, and was playing Johnny Cash and whatever he could come up with, and Hank Williams and just old classic country stuff that he knew and the band knew, and just whatever he could go to keep people going because they didn't want to stop. And he didn't have to do that. He did his contractual part. He could have just got back on his bus and left and back to the hotel room and stayed warm. But because the people were into it, and it just kept going.
Yes, that's a great story. Glad to hear it, and glad to have you here, Justin, and finally after a couple of years here in Los Angeles. Justin Curtis, take it away, and we're going to go out on some tune.
All right.
Over the credits.
Why do you leave me all alone? When I come to pick you up, you're always gone, and you never answer your telephone. Tell me why. What am I doing wrong? Can I make it right? Is there a song that I could sing for you tonight? If there isn't, just tell me why. Well, I'm as blue as your eyes, that should come as no surprise, 'cause you're always with some other guy. Tell me why.